The office buzzes with activity, phones ringing, keyboards clicking, printers humming. The camera pans across the cubicles before stopping at one woman. Amanda. 6 years. 6 years of hard work. 6 years of outperforming her colleagues. 6 years of waiting for a promotion that never came. Why? Because women here never get promoted. And everyone knows exactly why. Enter James, the roadblock. James is a textbook definition of a sexist manager. To him, men deserve power. Women, they're just support staff. James, smirking. A woman as a manager? Come on, you ladies get too emotional. No offense. Amanda, raising an eyebrow. You mean we think with both our hearts and our brains? James, laughing, turning to a male colleague. See, emotional already. Imagine her in charge. Disaster. The opportunity and the trap. One day, the company announces an opening for a senior management position. This is the opportunity Amanda has been waiting for. Her qualifications? Impeccable. Her experience? More than enough. Her chances? Slim, as long as James is in her way. And, as expected, James moves fast. 2 days later, Amanda gets an email. Subject: Urgent project. Due in 48 hours. James calls her into his office, dropping a massive stack of reports onto the desk. James, faux friendly tone. Amanda, I've got an important project for you. Amanda nods, scanning the files. I'm happy to take it on. What's the deadline? James, grinning, leaning back in his chair. Oh, just 48 hours. Amanda's stomach drops. Normally, a report like this would take at least a week to complete. This isn't a challenge. It's sabotage. But she doesn't flinch. Amanda, meeting his gaze, steady voice. I'll get it done. James's grin widens. The camera lingers on his smirk. He thinks he's already won. He watches Amanda leave, confident that he set her up for failure. The brutal workload, Amanda throws herself into the project. Night falls. The office empties out. One by one, her colleagues pack up and go home. But Amanda? She stays, fingers typing furiously, pages flipping, eyes scanning through endless rows of data. She cannot fail. She will not let James win. Clock ticks, 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m. Amanda rubs her tired eyes, but her hands keep moving over the keyboard. She's exhausted, but determined. But what Amanda doesn't know, James isn't done yet. He still has one more trick up his sleeve. The screen fades to black, leaving viewers tense, knowing that something worse is coming. Tick, tock. The office is dead silent. 6 a.m. Amanda blinks at the screen, her vision blurry from exhaustion, her hands shaking from lack of sleep. But in front of her, the finalized report is done. She beat his deadline. She grabs the freshly printed documents, straightens her back, and heads to James's office. The showdown begins. James sits at his desk, feet propped up, sipping coffee like he has all the time in the world. The moment Amanda walks in, he barely glances at her, completely uninterested. Amanda, placing the report down, voice steady. The analysis, completed ahead of schedule. James finally looks up. His smirk is instant. James, mock surprise. Already? Wow. He chuckles, flipping through the pages lazily. That was fast. But he's not actually reading it. He barely scans the first page before shutting it closed and shaking his head dramatically. James, fake sigh, leaning back. What a shame. Amanda's eyebrows furrow. She knows what's coming. Amanda, sharp tone. What's the problem? James shrugs, acting apologetic. Oh, nothing big. It's just, this is the old format. The company just updated it last week. This? Useless. Amanda's expression hardens. The air in the room thickens. Amanda, jaw clenched. The format hasn't changed in 3 years. James grins, shaking his head. James, mocking. Oh, well, I guess someone forgot to forward you the memo. See, if I send this version to the board, they'll think you're sloppy. Not detail-oriented. Definitely not management material. He clicks his tongue, fake sympathy dripping from his voice. And I'd hate for that to happen. Amanda grips the edge of the desk. Her knuckles turn white. He's lying. There was no format update. There was no mistake. This is just another excuse to make sure she fails, but she forces herself to stay calm. James wants her to argue. He wants her to react emotionally, to make a scene. If she does, he wins. A new strategy. Amanda exhales slowly, then suddenly smiles. Amanda, soft laugh, tilting her head. Oh, I see. James pauses. That's not the reaction he expected. James, squinting, slightly confused. You? See? Amanda nods, completely unfazed. Yeah, no problem. I'll redo it. James blinks. She's too calm, too collected. Something feels off, but before he can question it, Amanda has already turned on her heel and walked out. What he doesn't know? Amanda already sent a copy of her report to HR before coming into this meeting. James thinks he's won. But in reality, his own downfall has already begun. As Amanda strides back to her desk, the camera zooms in on her face. Determined, focused, ready for war. The clock ticks. Office noise fills the air, phones ringing, keyboards clacking. But Amanda, she's calm. She knows what she's doing. James thinks he won. He thinks he's outsmarted her, but he has no idea what's coming. The report makes it to HR while James was too busy gloating. Amanda had already sent her report to Human Resources. Not just anyone in HR, directly to Linda Parker, the head of the department. Linda, a sharp-eyed woman in her late 50s, sits at her desk, flipping through Amanda's report. She raises an eyebrow. The numbers are solid. The work is flawless. Linda, murmuring to herself, This is actually really good. James didn't expect this. The meeting that changes everything. The next day, a crucial meeting takes place to discuss candidates for the promotion. James walks into the conference room, relaxed, confident, but then he sees her. Amanda, sitting at the table, with her report in front of her. James freezes for just a second. Then he recovers, smirks, and takes his seat. James, leaning back, casual. Oh, I thought you were still fixing that report. Amanda meets his gaze, smiling, but there's a sharpness behind it. Amanda, calm, collected. The report was never wrong, and HR confirmed it. James's smirk falters. For the first time, he looks worried. But he's not going down that easily. James's final dirty move. He narrows his eyes, then lets out a dramatic sigh, shaking his head. James, acting concerned. Amanda, I was really rooting for you, but I have to be honest. He pauses, glancing at the other executives. There are some serious ethical concerns about your work. The room goes silent. Amanda stares at him. What is he talking about? Amanda coldly. Excuse me? James, nodding sadly. Yeah, there have been reports that you might have plagiarized some data from a previous project. I mean, I'm not accusing you. He shrugs dramatically. But if it's true, then obviously we can't put you in a leadership role. A low blow. A complete lie. But now the executives are looking at Amanda with suspicion. The camera zooms in on her hand. She's clenching her fist under the table. But her face? Still calm because she knows something James doesn't. Amanda, leaning forward, her voice ice cold. "Do you have any evidence of this?" James, fake regret. "Well, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I did receive some anonymous complaints." He's trying to frame her. He wants her to crack. But instead of looking nervous, she smiles. James has no idea he just made a fatal mistake. The room is dead silent. James sits back, looking smug, while Amanda stares at him, her expression calm, too calm. James thinks he's won. He thinks he's destroyed her reputation, but he doesn't know what's coming. Amanda's trap springs shut. Slowly, she reaches into her bag and pulls out a thin folder. Then, with deliberate calm, she slides it across the table toward the executives. Amanda, smoothly, "Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, James, because I have something for you too." James's smirk fades just a little. He glances at the folder but doesn't move to touch it. The executives open it. Their expressions shift immediately, because inside, emails, proving that James blocked multiple women from promotions, fake reports, where he manipulated performance reviews to sabotage certain employees, financial records, showing how he funneled company funds into personal projects. The room tenses. James finally looks nervous, executive, flipping through pages, stunned. "Is this real?" Executive, narrowing his eyes at James. "James, what the hell is this?" James's face turns pale. For the first time, he looks trapped. James, clearing his throat, trying to stay calm. This is taken out of context." Amanda, leaning forward, smiling coldly. "Oh, I'm sure it is. That's why I made multiple copies and sent them to HR and legal." Boom. Checkmate. James's eyes flicker to the door as if he's thinking about bolting. But there's nowhere to run. Yet the executives start murmuring. They're not looking at Amanda anymore. They're looking at James. CEO, coldly, slamming the folder shut. "James, we need to talk, in private." The air in the room is heavy. James sits frozen, his usual cocky smirk now completely gone. The executives stare at him, waiting for an explanation, but he has none. He thought he was untouchable. He thought he controlled the game. But now, he's the one trapped. The final verdict. The CEO, a no-nonsense man in his 60s, looks at James, his face hardening. He doesn't even need to hear more. CEO, coldly, "James, effective immediately. You're fired." The room goes dead silent. Then, a ripple of whispers. The news spreads like wildfire. James, panic creeping in. Wait, hold on. This is a mistake. You can't." CEO, cutting him off, voice sharp as a knife. "Security. Get him out of here." James's face goes red with humiliation as two security guards enter. He looks around, desperate, but no one, not one single person, steps in to help him. The same people he looked down on? Now, watching him fall. The guards grab his arms. James tries to pull away, but he can't fight this. He stumbles as they drag him to the door. The walk of shame. Outside the office, employees have gathered. Some are whispering. Others, outright smiling. A few even pull out their phones to record. Random employee murmuring, smirking, "Well, well, look how the mighty have fallen." Another employee, "About time that Aho got what he deserved." James growls, humiliated. He knows his reputation is destroyed. This won't just end here. Other companies will hear about this. His career? Finished. His biggest nightmare just came true. As the guards drag him past Amanda, he shoots her a look, pure hatred in his eyes. James, gritted teeth, voice low, "You think you've won? You're just a—" Amanda, Interrupting, smiling slightly. No, James. I didn't think I won. I knew I would. She doesn't even look back as he's thrown out the front doors. The camera holds on her face. Calm. Satisfied. Victorious. Amanda gets what she deserves. A week later, the company announces its new senior manager, and it's Amanda. She stands in her new office looking out over the city. But this isn't just a win for her. It's a win for every woman who ever got held back by men like James. Karma came late, but it came hard. Fade to black. Then, text appears on screen. Justice always comes. Always.